What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tim, aka the Frugal Travel Guru, back with another video. Today we're going to once again be talking about cheap travel, and we're going to be talking about the Greyhound bus. Now, before we get into this video, if you have questions about the Greyhound bus, I have over 100 videos on this channel about Greyhound, the Greyhound bus, as well as other forms of cheap transportation like Megabus, Amtrak, things like that. So at the end of this video, if you're bored and you still want something to do, check out those videos, and also do your boy a little favor, hit the subscribe button so you can see all the fun, cool, hopefully informative videos that I post on this channel. Now, today's video is going to be about what to expect when your Greyhound bus breaks down. It's just a fact of life that mechanical things break down. Greyhound buses are mechanical, they have engines, they have parts, they have transmissions and axles. I don't know, but it breaks down, okay? And that's not a slight at Greyhound. All bus lines, any form of transportation has breakdowns. Greyhound is no exception. But so if you ride the Greyhound bus any length of time, it's going to happen to you eventually. Or you could be one of those just unlucky people that, like, your first trip, it happens. Anyway, it happens to everybody. It's happened to me on several occasions. It's not a huge deal, typically, but I just want to make this video and let you know kind of what to expect. So what usually happens is the bus will be riding along just fine, on course. Everybody's chilling, half the bus is asleep, and then you'll see the driver like start to mutter to herself, and the bus may start to slow down, and then she'll pull off to the side or pull off on an exit that isn't, a scheduled pull off. Like me, I know all my scheduled stops, so I always know when something weird's going on, because I'll be like, we ain't supposed to be stopping for a meal break for another, 25 minutes, and we pulling off on exit 13. What's going on? And typically, so the bus driver will pull off somewhere, and then get out, go to the back of the bus and start, messing with stuff. Or, if it's something major, the driver might just stay on the bus, call dispatch, whatever. But eventually you will realize that something is wrong. Why is my bus just stopped here for no reason? Different drivers are different. Some will tell you, others won't, but eventually you'll realize it. Now, what happens next kind of depends on where you are, your location, how far the nearest Greyhound station is, things like that. But basically, what is going to happen is that you are going to have to sit there on that bus until A, they bring another bus and load everyone on that, and then you continue on your way. Or B, they get a mechanic there to fix that bus, and you can continue on your way. Or C, and this happens sometimes the drivers and the passengers kind of get together and can figure out what happened, and they can fix it or rig it well enough that the bus can get on to the next station. But basically, you as the passenger are just gonna have to sit there and wait. There's really nothing you can do. Everybody always gets mad and they want to talk and they complain, but really at the end of the day, all you as the passenger can do is sit and wait until they get, a method for you to continue on your trip. Now, like I said, depending on how far you are from a Greyhound station, depends on kind of what your wait is. I've had buses break down, and and this was a short wait for me, but we had to wait like 2 hours for them to get a mechanic there. The mechanic came, he worked on the bus for like 30 minutes, got it running, we were back on our merry way. That's a good breakdown. There are breakdowns that happen on Greyhound. One of these hasn't happened to me yet, but where people can be stranded 8, 9, 10 hours side of the road. It's just because Greyhound didn't have a bus readily available to come to them, and also, once a bus became available, a driver has to become available, and then the driver has to drive to you. So if you're 5 hours from a Greyhound bus station, and they realize they're gonna have to get a whole new bus out there, it could be a couple hours for them to find the driver, another hour for them to get the bus ready, and serviced and gassed up, and then that 5 hours for it to get there. So you could be actually stranded on the side of the road for quite a while waiting on a new bus to get to you. Same with the mechanic. Might not take as long, but it may take that mechanic 3 hours to get there, and then another hour or so to work on the bus. So you could just be sitting there. Now, hopefully, like in my case, every time I've been on a bus that broke down, it was like an issue that did not affect like the heat or the air conditioning on the bus. This is the big thing. One of the times when people complain the most of bus breakdowns is when you are in an area where it's like very hot and the bus breaks down and the AC goes out. Or if it's very cold, the bus breaks down and it somehow affects the heat. That's when it's a problem. Because you don't want to be sitting on a Greyhound bus for 4 hours, and it's hot. It's hot. People already stank. People already, already not smelling so good. Tempers are already flaring when the bus is okay and normal. Bus breaks down, you don't have any heat, or it's freezing out, or it's hot outside, you don't have any AC. It can get bad. And also, once again, you have to realize that, in hindsight, you realized, oh, it was 4 hours and we got back on our way. When you're just sitting there waiting, you have no clue how long it's going to take. No clue. You're just sitting there waiting. You know how it is on Greyhound. They might give you an ETA, but even they don't know. The driver doesn't know. Dispatch doesn't know. So you're just going to be sitting there sometimes in a totally shut down bus, just waiting. It can get miserable. Like I said, fortunately, every time I've been broke down, they weren't that long of waits. And I was about to say life support. It's not a spaceship, Tim. It's not life support. But the heat or the air or whatever it was still running. One time the bus managed to limp to a gas station, so we were able to go and get food to eat, things like that. I've never had a really bad breakdown, but I have heard from people and read stories of people who did. And it's kind of one of those things that it gives Greyhound a bad name, but there's nothing they can do. You have to have buses traveling cross country. You're gonna have buses sometimes a long way away from stations, a long way away from mechanic. Bus breaks down, you just got to sit there and wait. Now, depending on where you're at, sometimes you can get out the bus. Even if you're on the side of the road, a lot of times people get out the bus, sit down, on the side of the road, still very hot or very cold. Some people just stay on the bus and sleep. The people who can sleep good on the Greyhound bus are never affected by anything. They just sleep through it. But for anyone else, you're just gonna kind of have to wait. Now, I would recommend that when they finally do get you back on the bus and you get to a station, go to the counter, at least get you a meal voucher. Hey, I was on that bus, I had to wait for 3 hours. I want a meal voucher. I want some form of compensation. If you want to take it further than that, call Greyhound tech support. Customer support. Get on their social media. Tell them, hey, this happened. I want a refund. Email them. Do whatever you need to do. If you want to take it further, get some of that money back. If you put in enough work, you might get Greyhound to give you some money back. But it's just kind of one of those things that happens. I also recommend, as soon as you get to a station, be the first one to the ticket counter. If your bus has been too late, you're probably going to have missed your connections. If you have any going further, probably going to have missed your connections. So get to that counter, get your ticket reprinted, get rerouted. You want to get up there and do that before everyone else, so you get the best possible options for the reroute. There might be a bus leaving in an hour or so you can hop on, but there might only be 5 seats on that bus. You want to get up there, get one of those 5 seats. Everybody else after you probably going to be in a reroute that isn't as quick. They may have to wait 8 hours, wait some more. So that's kind of what happens with Greyhound. Sometimes the waiting just spirals out of control. You miss one connection, you got to wait 8 hours for another bus, and then you miss your connection because of that. It just spirals out of control. So if your bus breaks down and you have to wait and it messes up your trip, as soon as possible, get to the ticket counter, try to get that worked out. Also, too, is another reason I always recommend, and I'll leave a link in the description box below. I always recommend when you're on Greyhound, things like your phone, most of the time, a lot of the times, you can charge it on the Greyhound bus if the outlets are working, which sometimes they're not. A lot of times they are. You get stranded on the side of the road for too long and the outlets aren't working because the bus is broke down, then your phone might die. So I always recommend bringing you one of those little portable charger things in case of an emergency when you're on a long trip. Plug that in. You'll want to have your cell phone still working, if for nothing else to amuse you, but also if you need to call family members, hey, I'm going to be late, things like that. Just keep in mind, you could be, another reason I recommend people bring food and snacks and water. You could be on the bus, middle of nowhere, the bus breaks down, and then you're just there. There's really nothing much Greyhound can do besides try to get that bus running, get you back on your way. They're not going to bring you pizza and sandwiches and water bottles. So you need to provide, enough water, and enough snacks or whatever, so in case you have an issue like this happen, that you're not sitting there starving or dying of thirst or something like that. So just keep in mind, buses do break down. It is a wait. Hopefully if it happens to you, it'll be a quick wait, but if not, don't get mad at the driver. Don't be up there yelling, screaming. Try to take a nap, play on your tablet. I don't know, but eventually, like I said, Greyhound, they'll always get you there. Eventually they will get another bus out there. They will get a mechanic out there, or that bus might get going. You will be back on your way. Anyway, I'm Tim, Frugal Travel Guru. Like I said, tons of videos on the Greyhound bus. Check out my channel. Also, if you have questions you want to ask me directly, you can do it in the comment box below, or even better, you can hit me up on social media. All my social media will be in the description box below as well. You can hit me up on social media. I answer like 99.8% of the questions I get, usually pretty quickly. So we can talk, we can interact. If you're planning a trip, you got questions, hit me up. I'll try to help you out. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.